Okay. Hello, Jeff. What are we doing?
We are back with more Tiermaker, and this time we are doing Overwatch characters.
Oh shit.
There's all of them through Echo. All the Overwatch 1 characters before we get into Overwatch 2, which, fingers crossed, Darby
It's
and I
gonna
get...
have new characters. What? New characters in Overwatch.
Fingers crossed, Darby and I get into that beta next month.
I have at least clicked that. I did the sign up thing.
Yeah. Said it's not first come, first serve, so you have... It'd be funny if you doing it like over a week later, you're the only one who gets it.
That would be hilarious. Seems right.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to rank these characters, and I feel like this is definitely one because there are a lot less of them compared to the Nintendo one. We can just outright rank them in between within these things.
I agree.
But I'm no idea, Derry, what criteria do you think we should be ranking them? Character designs, gameplay, how much we hate facing them, all of the above mixed into one crazy thing. Just how we're feeling.
Just like this one might be a little more loosey goosey. This one might be a little more personal than the Nintendo one. The Nintendo did have a good mix of the two. I don't know. What are you feeling as far as? Because there's definitely, I feel like this whole list could look crazy different depending on what your mindset is going into ranking them.
I feel like we gotta put all of. I feel like if we go front, we just put all of it into it. Like,
so like, how good of a character we think like the kit is.
Versus... we feel like about the character in general as far as like design and back.
And I do want aesthetics to go into this.
Oh, I mean, yeah, exactly.
Very big part. Yeah, just
that will probably hold a lot more weight than anything.
And where do you think is the more fun place to start here? Or do you want to do the? Yeah, we should.
I just like starting from the top left. I think that's always a fun way to do it.
That is fine.
Keep a little order into it.
Which is kind of a hilarious place to start because it really does feel like you're starting with basic Soldier Man.
Yeah.
His name is literally Soldier 76, and his moveset is basically like Call of Duty shooter, man. Like he is about as like straight down the middle as you can get, so it's a good start point. But it's always weird with Soldier 76 because like
you play him.
I do play him, and him being basic is kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Because everyone else in the game is so batshit crazy. It's like, it kind of works,
Mm-hmm.
Like it fits in some way.
And obviously, to make it clear, we have the right to move up and down as much as we want in the middle of this.
But I do think if it feels right for Soldier 76 to be dead center in the middle beat.
All right, yeah. I feel that. Yeah.
I mean, like he's just like it's not the top and it's not the bottom. It feels like this is the baseline.
Yeah.
Soldier is the baseline.
I'm curious if this is one where we use the full scale, like we ended up doing with Nintendo. The bottom was very depleted, but
I feel like all right. We need to stop right here and just address the fact that it's a good game.
Yes,
and I like all these characters.
Yes,
so
these are kind of like comparing them to each other.
So I don't think we can't compare this to other games or whatever, and because I like for all the like griping we do about Overwatch. It's a really good game, and the characters are really well designed and fun to play. They're all fun to play.
Uh-huh.
So, like, I feel like if we don't address that now, then we're just going to have no Season Ds, and it'll be boring. Yeah. So, I do think we need to be more, a little aggressive, just, like, within. So, like, I think we need to make a point to use the whole scale.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
Orisa. I think she's one of the worst designs in the game.
Yeah.
Play style wise is very kind of dull. It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of standing in one place, putting things down, and shooting targets.
But I don't play competitive, so this is part of this stuff is going to me basing off like maybe like you or Alex say, or just what I'm hearing people say that are more into competitive. Because the way I play and the way the competitive stuff goes is in a completely different world. So like Orisa is one of those characters that just kind of the game had to revolve around her, and to a lot of people just made it worse.
Yeah.
Or at least an iteration of her did that.
She's one of those, she's way too impactful for kind of how basic
Well, do
her
you want
kit
to just
is
start with the full
overall.
scale and put her in D?
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I was gonna say. I mean, and that's not to say that I think there's a lot of good things about Orissa's kit, and there's some interesting things or whatever. And I understand why people like. If I was forced to play tank and like start actually really playing tank, she'd probably be one of the ones I go to. But that's partially just because of the simple play style. But I think she is amongst the worst, if not the worst, as far as just kit design in the game. I will say I like her model.
Yeah.
She was cool. Like, she's badass robot bodyguard.
Weird centaur robot thing.
Yeah, but I think the horse has to be D, I believe.
We gotta remember to send this to Alex and Olivia and see how they feel.
We will.
Zarya.
That's a hard one. Do you have somewhere to start? Because this is. I don't want to dominate the conversation every time.
Yeah. I feel like she's one of the more boring character designs. I feel like that's usually a good place to start with these characters to give our feel out. I don't mess with her play much. So far as how far her kit is, she's an annoying character to play against with all the bubbles and shields and everything. I feel like especially if we're going full scale, I will probably put her in the lower part of it personally.
Yeah, I like her kit a lot with the I think Grab is a very cool ultimate. And just the whole concept of like bubbling herself and other people, and the more people shoot it, the stronger she gets. I think is a cool character, like cool kit design. I agree with you that like her kit is better than her design is, and she's kind of like generic Russian person in a lot of ways. I mean, she has cool pink hair, but I mean, she's hot, but they're all hot. I mean, everyone in this game's hot. I mean, look at fucking Junkrat. Look at him. Just a specimen.
True. Hear that, everyone? Darby finds hamsters hot.
I said Junkrat.
But you said everyone. That includes
everyone. Yes. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
absolutely. You're correct. Yeah, I do find hamsters. So it's just it really gets me going.
My mind goes to C, maybe.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's like I think her kit's
maybe low B.
Her kit's really good, so it feels weird to go down there. But I feel like once we put a lot of other people on here, she'll probably start getting nudged down more and more.
That's just kind of my mindset right now. I feel like there are a lot of characters we're instantly going to put pretty high.
I can tell you right now that's going to be a controversial one for like the competitive people or whatever.
And
I
Alex
think would be like, and Alex would put Zarya.
I was like, I immediately once I thought it and saw who we were doing next, like, we got to send it to Alex. Like, we might put.
Oh, we're gonna have a controversial list.
Let's go.
People would be like, these guys are idiots, and it's like,
we are.
It's like we are. we take pride in that.
Look on the Nintendo list.
Let's go.
We didn't have Metroid and S. So yeah, Torbjorn.
Interesting.
See, this is one way since I do not do competitive, I just like the trolliness of the.
He's fun. Yeah, it's he's very different than everyone else.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of big troll potential, especially like in the early Overwatch 1 time.
Okay. So what? Okay, that's something we need to kind of put in here because we haven't gotten to these characters yet. As far as when Kit is involved, are we going? I know we haven't played them, but are we going to keep the Overwatch 2 changes in mind?
I don't think so. Okay. I think we are looking at Overwatch 1 right now.
Okay, that is fair.
And we have not experienced those changes firsthand.
That's
so
fair.
I think we should do it I think Torb is one of the most aesthetically strong characters because he's just very funny. And his voice lines are very funny, and I like his voice a lot. And the way he calls like his turret his baby, I think. There's a lot of very good shit there.
I was going to argue no lower than B.
I agree.
For the Twerpster.
You just gotta love him,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like either A or B.
Mm-hmm. Do you want us to? We just kind of have it even out right now. Put him at A with the keeping in mind that we might knock him down.
Sure. Torb is fun.
Yeah.
You love him. You kind of hate him, but you love him.
Mm-hmm.
Sigma.
Toes.
Them toes.
We don't have a toe
What's his
here.
wiki feet rating?
500.
I like Sigma a lot. I think he is one of the most interesting design characters. The fact that he has the shield that he can just put anywhere.
I haven't played him in a while. I remember really liking playing him a lot.
I think he's really good. He was like from the moment he was released, I thought he was one of the more interesting tank designs in the game, where he's still has some defense, but he's very mobile, and his ult is very like weird and cool because he just like floats up in the air and
Mhm.
like the whole gravity thing. And I love the Rock. The Rock is just
Yeah.
ridiculous. Just talking about just eating this boulder at people. That was one of those, like, as soon as I showed the trailer, it's like, wait, what? He just throws a rock at people.
Yeah.
So I say A.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I think he's one of the stronger designs in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I like his voice lines and everything. And he's intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
You look at him and you'd be scared of that man. You know. And his trailer, his announcement trailer was very cool. With the, like, kind of, like, mad scientist type vibe.
Indeed. And Reaper. Edgy makes edgelord himself.
Yeah.
How
I
much
mean, I love how much of, like, Reaper is like a parody of himself.
yeah.
He's like so edgy in like making fun of himself type of way.
It just works.
The fact that he reloads his shotguns by just tossing them and pulling out new ones is still amazing. It's still
Well,
hilarious.
and just from a kit wise, even though there are times when he is OP as fuck and weak, it seems like in other things, he's like one of those characters that had the wide range as far as like tiers, at least from an outside perspective.
For sure, and he can kind of go up and down, but like
his kit is very simple, but it just it works so well. Like you were saying, like it fits the aesthetic with how he throws it and just being shotguns and him being able to teleport and turn invisible and just all that kind of shit.
Right.
And just coming in with the twister. I think he's S.
I agree. I'm there with you. We're agreeing with this for sure so far. And I think Reaper is like, he's one of the more basic ones in the game. And when I definitely agree that, like, especially in the Overwatch League, whenever he was meta, it kind of brings the game to it can bring the strategy of the game down somewhat.
Yeah.
But actually playing Reaper, I think, is always fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and because you can just kind of like go in to teleport in and then do death blossom, or teleport in, do some damage, and then fade out. It's like, yeah, he's fun. He's a very, very fun character. And presentation wise, you would look at him and be like, oh, he's the most generic character in the world. You start playing them, it's like, yeah, that's the point. Like it. And like his voice, his voice is so good because it's like,
it's like with Soldier, where the genericness of him, what the character they're going for is just a strength of his character, and like you said, the point.
I agree.
Baptiste.
I also think he's one of them, like, on paper, I think one of the most interesting ideas they've had for a character, where like he shoots people. I mean, kind of like Anna, but he shoots people to heal them and having the immortality and everything else. Like, he has a lot going on. I would say too much going on. Like, I kind of wish that
they kind of took at least one of his things away.
Yes, I think Baptiste is and he hasn't been like oppressive necessarily, but he kind of. I mean, the fact he has the amplification matrix, he can heal people, he can rocket jump, he can put an immortality thing down. He has like a self-healing shield thing.
It's like if you tweak all those things, or at least half of those things, just a little bit more, then it's just like, yeah, he's just very OP.
Yes, yeah.
It's an easy balancing thing to make him.
And he's never been as fun as I want him to be.
Yeah.
Like I thought I was gonna like him a little bit more than I did overall.
Mm-hmm. I like his kit, like you said. I mean, all of his stuff is cool, but maybe it's just like, yeah, he might have too much. And as far as like the design goes, it might be like just his general outfit, his base outfit feels like one of the most generic out of the cast, I would say.
Agree. Yeah.
Like once you get to outfits, then yeah, all of them are just crazy. But
of course.
But we're just talking just base design. Maybe
I
not the
agree.
strongest.
I think maybe C, and he may get dropped down because like all of these are good. We're gonna have a lot.
Yeah,
of good ones
I would
coming
say
up.
C as a starting point for him right now. Consider where we are, it's fine.
I mean, he is a good character. It's just
I think we need to start thinking of like where we want to do it in retro, like in comparison to who we have in those.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I want him over.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I want him over Zarya. I'm just saying in general.
I don't. I would put Zarya.
So
like,
let's just talk about this real quick. Are we fine with where Torb and Sigma are compared to each other? I am right now, but
I don't know. That's a hard one.
Yeah,
that's a hard one.
But the turrets.
Yeah, and Molten Core is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I'm good with that. All right,
Cole Cassidy. Is it Cole Cassidy? Okay, it is Cole Cassidy.
Yeah, Cole Cassidy. I think everyone his name in there is Cassidy.
Yeah,
but his name is Cole Cassidy.
It's one of those like I know it was Cassidy, but Cole Cassidy. I'm like, is that just from like a generic name from a show that just stuck in my brain? That's just like, yeah. How's that work? Okay, yeah.
And
Mr. Cassidy,
and he should have been Dave.
Dave Overwatch.
Dave Overwatch.
The titular Dave Overwatch.
I think he is another one that is very simple but so good. The flashbang is such a like cool ability. The like fan the hammer, like whenever you kill someone as him, it just looks cool.
Yeah,
it looks like you know what you're doing. I think he's S. A or S. Maybe A, maybe top of A for me. But what do you think? Because this is not just me.
I was thinking of B.
Oh, okay, all right.
Just kind of I hear what you're saying, but he's closer to soldier tier to me than some of these other ones. And I am somewhat looking into the future, and just in comparison, I feel like he's kind of more mid for the same. I know this is a weird thing because in my mind, Soldier, Cassidy, and Reaper are kind of the same thing, where they are very, very well done generic versions of what they are. But for every reason, just what they particularly did with Reaper, it just puts it above.
Oh, I agree.
Him above with it. Like, yeah, we agree on that. But
do you want my only counterpoint to A versus B?
Is it Banff?
Matt Mercer.
That is true. Can we put him at bottom of A right now? Be the compromise?
No, it would be bottom. I think it would be bottom. When I said S, I didn't think about it because I think I would put him below the other two.
Okay.
But I think Matt Mercer's. I think the voice lines might be like the voice acting might be the best in the game.
That's fair.
He's another. They like you said. They do the generic. He's a generic cowboy, but they do it so damn well.
Yeah. And I just think about the other person we have coming in. It's like, yeah.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Anna,
where do you think, Jeff? I'll let you take the lead on some of these.
I like her. I like what she has going on. I do think overall she's a more interesting like Baptiste as far as like general kit. I would think B.
Okay, this is where we might disagree, just because I think kit wise, even though I'm not good with Anna. I think she's one of the most interesting takes on a support character ever. Because it's a support character where like skill shots matter. You know, your ability to like hit with a sniper can help how like good you are. And like she has such a wide range. You can be good at her at a casual level, but the good Annas, like the way they can do sleep darts, it'll be like a doom fist coming in at the very last second, they just turning on, boop, sleep or whatever. And like it's one of the few supports that can have like flashy plays, like flashy things out there, whatever. So I would say minimum A.
Okay.
And I could argue like in S potentially, but I would say at least A.
Okay.
Because I think she is there's the element of like I don't really enjoy playing her that much. I'm just not great with her, but I think she is a very good design for a support.
All right, fair. Okay, we put her in A right now.
I'd probably at least put her there.
Okay.
Cool. May. Talk about annoyance factor. We've definitely reached the annoyance factor. I hate playing against her. I hate playing as her, honestly, too. Like, me personally, I do not really like May that much. I can't say I don't know. She's like they've had to dial back the freeze so much just because it's an annoying ass ability.
Well, she's a weird thing, kind of like she's a mixture of what we kind of said with Reaper and also Baptiste, to where I feel like she has a lot going on, and kind of like what we said with Reaper, where she's kind of been at the top or bottom, to where if you kind of dial things in a certain way, she is very OP, and that has obviously happened with her a couple times.
And I'll say, as an indictment to May, every single time I feel like May has been super powerful and has been really meta in the Overwatch I play or the Overwatch I watch.
It just makes the game
always the worst. It's always the worst times of Overwatch is when May's being played a lot. I mean, she's good, but like as far as like, you know, being good at the game, but like I feel like the game has been at its worst whenever May is the most prominent for me.
That's fair.
So I would put her D.
Okay.
Personally. I mean, I think May is adorable. Like her design, she's very cute, but she's very obnoxious.
Indeed.
Where would you put her in relation to?
I'd probably put her over Orisa.
Yeah, I think I would too. I think I would too. Farah. I like Farah a lot. I don't know. I don't know where, but I do like Farah a lot. She's another one that's like somewhat simple, but it's like she plays so much different than everyone else outside of Echo. You know, obviously that came later, but like Echo was definitely somewhat mild after Farah. But like for most of Overwatch's life, she's been like, it's a different skill set, completely different skill set of like learning how to like fly and how to be in the air and avoid sight lines and especially the concussion blast where you can blast people off the map or something if you do it right, or like get away from people. It's like very versatile.
Sneaking up with her ult.
Yes. Like I think she is a very smartly designed character. Personally.
Yeah.
But now where to put hers?
A or B?
I feel like I would put her over Cassidy. Cassidy might end up getting bumped to B.
I'm getting the feeling that we're going to be bumping down some people from A.
Yeah, I think so.
Especially, again, seeing what's coming.
Yeah, I think I would put her over Cassidy under... I would probably put her over Anna, too.
I'd put her over Anna.
Yeah.
I
might put her over Sigma. I do like Farah a lot.
No, she's cool, and I like how just some of her outfits are just straight up Gundams.
I would put her top of A, personally.
Okay. That's fine with me. Like, kind of like you said, she's like you said, she's kind of a simple thing, but she is the most unique out of these kind of simple kind of things with it. And weird thing to say, but it's just the way it is.
Like I feel like the skills translate the least of all the kind of simple DPS characters, like Soldier to McCree to Soldier to Cassidy to Reaper. I feel like there's more overlap. Like that's not going to make you a good Farah player.
Yeah,
you know, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I say we just go ahead and knock Cassidy down to the top of B.
I'm gonna go with that.
We might end up bumping down more, but I feel like we need to go ahead and prepare for that.
I think you were right. You were right from the get-go.
And that's kind of been why I've been saying some of them would be is like because I know we're gonna be filling that of the S and A later.
It's just a good roster.
Yeah. Doomfist.
I'm too biased to fucking hate the man. I hate playing against him, but his kit is very good. It's very good.
It is, and I love his design. I just really like, even though I didn't end up gravitating with him as much as I would have liked when he was initially announced. That might change that he's turning. I know I'm not putting this in a factor of this ranking, but I might gravitate to more now that he's going to be moving the tank. Then the little changes might work for me more.
Right.
Or the big changes. We don't really have much detail on that. But I just love how this is just, for the most part, just a melee character in this shooter game, and
you can
it just
basically do
works.
Fighting game combos with them, which is so cool.
Well, and you were talking about Farah, of like how there's a different move set, like different mindset and everything, and different skill set and everything. Doofus is like that, just in a very different way. So I think for that, he has to the very least be an A.
He's one of those you can grind them out, and like he's like in the Overwatch League or anywhere, or whatever. If you have a like, and he's good at Doomfist, like that's a completely separate thing. It's like okay.
And it's just a character like, and this is why I know you say you hate him. Is when you see a Doomfist and you're just kind of waiting. It's like, is this a good Doomfist or a bad Doomfist? And once it's immediately clear is good, you're like, fuck.
And you hear, especially me, because I play Mercy most of the time.
Yeah,
you hear that charge up sound, and it instills fear.
Yeah. And like for me, like in Overwatch League, when I see like, because I have no doubt that those players are good. When I see Doofus going, like, fuck yeah, let's go, man.
I think he's S.
Okay, okay, good.
I think he's S. I mean, he's one of the best designed. Now, what do you think between them?
Oof.
We have personal bias of like, I like playing Reaper. There's no way I'm going to play Doomfist.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much I want that to play into it, because I do think Doom is just a very coolly designed character. But I could be fine either way. So
I'm fine with what we got.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Diva.
There's just too many damn good characters.
I know. Yeah.
Where are you thinking immediately? Because it's gonna be high. I mean, she's a very, very cool character. Because I do think aesthetics count too, and I think she's.
Oh, my heart is S, like straight, like.
I think so too. I mean, I think
and just like she's one of my most played. So
and I feel like everyone likes playing Diva. I like playing Diva, and I hate tank. Like she's just kind of a universal. Like I feel like everyone can enjoy.
She's simple but powerful and
high mobility.
And she has one of the most hype ultimates.
Yes.
And most scary.
Yeah.
And when you're playing against it, like it's just she's one of those things that just kind of at a basic level simple, but she's just a lot of fun. Like you saying, even like you who is very adverse to tanks, like can play her and everything, or at least you enjoy playing her more.
I think aesthetically, she is one of the strongest in the game. She's one of the most iconic. You can immediately, her mech is really cool. The fact that she's basically like a Korean K-pop idol person.
I mean,
like,
I put her
very funny.
Out of what we got right now, I put her at the very top.
I think so too. I think I agree with that. I agree. Yeah, she's very fun. And just flying around in the back is just so much fun. Hammond / Wrecking Ball.
Yes.
It's a hard one.
I mean, at least aesthetically and everything, S tier.
Aesthetically,
and from a gameplay thing, he's also just very fun.
I agree. He's another one that is just like not for me, but it like we were talking about Doom, he is a very particular like you're good at Hammond, and being good at other players doesn't help you be good at Hammond. You know, it's just not that that's everything, but it's just it's a very unique thing. Like of all the things, like he's one of those that is just like a signature, like this is something you can do in Overwatch that you can't do in other games. It's like learning how to like momentum wise like do the grapple hook like wrecking ball thing back and forth. That's a special skill that people had to learn, is like, how do I time this to launch myself up in the air and do this thing? You know, it's I tend to want to put him in S as well.
Same, at least right now. Yeah, I guess where we want to
I don't know.
I mean, I'd put him at least in front of Doomfist, and maybe as well as Reaper, personally. And he's a cute, chubby little hamster.
He is a cute, chubby. I mean, the design wise, for sure, is.
Even if I'm not great with him, he's also just fun to play.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm fine with that. We'll discuss it again later. But
Junkrat. Too many good design characters in this game.
There are, and he's another one that voice acting is very, very good, and just the whole concept of his.
I mean, there might be just ones where we just point is like just again, if we're going by the whole scale, having to put some lower. I'm not even saying that for Junkrat in particular.
He's one I like Junkrat, but I think he is more middle of the road.
Yeah. His
playstyle is not the most engaging and fun because a lot of spamming shit everywhere, and he's too reliant on just getting the tire. I feel like it gets to be like it's just like you're just trying to do enough damage with random bombs until you can get the tire.
Okay,
like,
throwing this out there, do we want to put him in B or C?
I'm leaning C just because of the strength of the rest of the roster.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that.
What do you think? I'd probably, I don't know. I might go there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reinhardt. My boy.
He is so simple but so damn good. I mean, there's a reason why he has been pervasive in every era of Overwatch.
Yeah.
Everyone
he is
loves
a constant.
Playing
yes.
Ryan. Like whether you do aggressive or defensive, it's just everyone loves playing.
And kind of like with Doomfist, obviously he stands out because he's just so melee focused and even just with that shield is.
I also think he is S.
Yeah,
because he is the opposite of May, where I think every time he has been at the top of Overwatch, it's the most fun. It's the best versions of Overwatch.
I mean, just because what he does is just so simple. You can't be like with what he does, even when he's at the top or whatever, or just very used. You can't exactly be completely upset with what he's doing.
No, and there's skill. There's definitely skill involved with it, and like landing really good shatters.
and
just,
charges, like knowing when to
charges,
do
yes.
that and everything, and even when using your shield, like knowing when to put it down to recharge and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
He's very simple, but to use him at a top level, you kind of got it. You
Right.
got to
like,
know what
he
you're
has a lot of
doing.
health and a big shield, but everyone is focusing him. Like the
Yeah.
fight revolves around Ryan. And voice lines are just so he is like he's amazing. He's just you gotta love him. It's like calls in the battle and everything.
I do have a feeling we're gonna end up knocking someone out of S at some point.
I think S is getting a little crowded.
Yeah. Where we want to rank Ryan?
So oh yeah, we have to rank Ryan then. I mean, I hate to be so legacy focused, but I mean, I would probably put him there.
Hey, if you want to put the character that I play at top, I'm not gonna argue with you.
We haven't gotten to my characters quite
Yeah.
yet, like my main ones. Yeah, I agree with you that someone's probably gonna have to drop out of S or multiple someones. That's probably where I would put him.
Yeah. Now Winston.
All right, so Winston is also an incredibly strong, good design tank. I guess where I am basing this is, I think he is like a step below Ryan.
Yeah.
But still very good in a different style. Like those two tanks being the yin and yang of Overwatch for so long. They've been the like which one of these is the main tank that you're using. And then obviously there's some other wrenches have been thrown into it, but that's like those are the two that everyone like loves Overwatch the most when it's one of those two.
Yeah.
And they're very different because Winston's way more of a divey, like, you know, jump on people, high mobility type of thing. So I guess that's all I got is below Ryan.
Yeah. I mean, again, we're filling up S so much, and they're going to be so other characters we're probably going to want to put in there, but it's hard not to want to put Winston in there.
It is. He is
just because of characters and just kind of the voice acting and just the way
and it's hard not to put tanks in S just because Overwatch revolves so much around tank and like that's where the heart of the game is, the heart of every fight. You know?
It is funny that we're removing them despite that.
I know. Yeah.
We're moving one from, but I think an argument for Winston to be one of the ones that go into S and potentially be one of them, the ones who stay, is just his playstyle is a lot of fun, and it's like it just fits his character so well because he's a smart gorilla and everything, and just using like that railgun and being it like in just how the mobility of him, like even compared to other tanks and just other characters in general, jumping around, throwing down a shield, and then his ult being going into rage mode and just all that.
Yeah, and just sustaining the fight. And it was kind of, I've always thought about how interesting it was when we, like, how the community started to understand and get better at Winston's kit over time. Because when we first started Overwatch, I remember we were all like, Winston is useless. Winston's an awful character. Like, you can't, like, why would you not play Ryan? I don't understand. And then, like, as people, they didn't even change much about him. They really didn't change anything. It was just
like a little numbers here and there.
As people learned how to play him more, they're like, oh, okay, we were just not doing this right.
We were dummies.
Yeah. Okay. But then where? Where amongst them? It's hard because all of these characters feel so good. Like, such a well-designed characters.
Since you already said below Ryan, I think in between Ryan and Wrecking Ball is where I'm feeling.
Yeah, probably. It feels boring to have these three at the top being like the...
you like you mentioned, like, we have all tanks in our top 4.
I don't even play them. I don't even play these people.
I mean, it just helps, like, it's just kind of when you think it's like, for like character designs and just personality and everything. Yeah, the tanks are just some of the strongest.
I think so. I agree.
And just smartly designed characters. Okay,
all
then.
right.
Okay, I know this is getting personal and everything.
Got to your main now.
I'm going to concede. Let's don't even think about putting him in S. Like, I will concede.
Yeah, I don't think he's S personally. Yeah. He is a kid that I have never really jived with.
I'm okay with putting him at top of B. Just
okay.
Conceding that.
Okay, I'm good with that. I mean, I think this is more of a personal thing for me. I've just never really got him. I've never really fully...
He is my main, for sure.
Right,
like, my overall main. I love him.
Which I feel like,
as far as the character designs and just personality and everything, I know with all these wacky characters, he doesn't stand out as much. Him being just a pure robot and just kind of being a robot monk, it makes him kind of interesting in that way. But as far as, like, a personality... if like his personality fits what he actually is, but it doesn't stand out as much as these characters, and I get it. But his kit to me is just a lot of fun to use, and just it is a simple healing thing, like one of the more simple like support characters, but he is just a lot of fun.
And to give him some props for like at the top level, like really good Zenyatta's. Like he is one of the few supports that can win a 1v1 if you're just really good. Like you're gonna be squishy and you can't take hits, but like if people can know exactly how to charge that thing up and then do a headshot with them, you can kill a big tank with them if you're good enough with them. So like, he's cool, but he's like even at the Overwatch League level, like I don't get him myself like as far as playing him how to be good and how to like make him work. And then at the Overwatch League level, I feel like it's hard for me to exactly tell what the Zenyatta is doing in the fight, even though I know he's contributing a lot, but it's just like hard for me to like see that unless he like gets some 1v1 kill thing or whatever. So like I think he's strong, but and the robot Gandhi thing is cool, but I agree with what you were saying as far as like compared to some of the other character designs is a little more basic. Brigitte. It's a very interesting role with Brigitte because especially when she first came out, it was awful and just like killed Overwatch for a long time. Like, she basically is what caused us to have to like go into role queue and all these other things because it literally kind of broke the game. And I personally really just don't enjoy playing her. These are the complete opposite of my type of play style. And I think that her abilities, even now, are just like it's just kind of sustained for the sake of being sustained. And I know that like Mercy has some of that too, with like just lots of healing and everything. But I feel like Mercy is very easy to kill, and you have to be really good with mobility and getting around and everything. Brigitte, you don't necessarily need to do that. You can kind of just exist.
Shield up.
Yeah, you exist in the fight with a shield and bash people around, and you're doing something for the team. You're just like kind of passively healing people, and that's always been a little boring to me.
So what you're saying is we're putting her in D.
I think so.
Yeah. See, Darby, this list might be less controversial than we thought. We're putting the most hated characters in D.
Now, where would you put her within D?
I put her at the top because I've had the most fun playing her throughout the life of Overwatch.
Yeah, I still like her. Yeah. And she has gotten to a much better place. Yeah. She is a much better place now than she was before.
Okay, we're starting to even this out a little bit. Okay, nice. Yeah. Echo.
This is going to be hard for me.
Yeah. In general, with Echo? With
Echo.
Gotcha.
I don't know. Where like you take the lead for a second because I got to think.
So I feel like this is a weird one where I feel like we've definitely, at least me personally, because the amount of Overwatch I play is dependent on y'all.
Yeah.
I feel like once Echo came out, even though that was like 2 years ago, we just played significantly less. Yeah. So my experience with Echo is not nearly as much as the rest of these characters. Right. So as far as the actual playing, against her primarily, I have far less experience. So. Right. Gameplay is a little harder to. I like what her general kit is and just kind of what they did with her.
I think she is a very cool character in a lot of ways. Like she's very similar to Pharah in a lot of ways, but I think that's okay because we have a lot of other characters that are similar to each other. There was no Pharah analog. There was no Pharah alternate Pharah.
Well,
and it was cool to get.
Yeah. Well, and just her. I'm blanking on some of it again because. Like all the other characters, I feel like I have the moveset down pat, but I feel like there's some things I'm forgetting about her. I know she has like the sticky bomb stuff, which are cool. Which is very cool. And obviously her ult is very awesome.
Yeah. I was about to say, what do you think about her ultimate overall? I mean, that can be kind of controversial.
I like it. I have no idea how it works. Like how it's viewed in the competitive scene, but on paper, I love it.
I don't think it ended up being as crazy as people thought it was going to be. Because
a lot of it is it's arguably the most circumstantial super in the game, just because it's based on what the opponent's doing and who's around at the time for her to copy, and that player's moveset. Like if it's someone who's mainly DPS, if they're going up like there's having to be tanks and supports around them, they're like, not really anyone to really copy.
Well, now it's like, you're now a Rhine, going and get someone who mains Rhine or something. It's like they might be better than you.
But their old thing does build up quicker, so you just get that.
For sure. But there's a skill level there. You can whiff her ultimate for sure. You can just not really build it up in time or just do it wrong.
I'm okay just putting her in B.
Yeah, I'm okay. I was going to say, like, obviously the biggest comparison point to her is Farah, which it would seem like she would be better than Farah, or like you would rank her better than Farah just because she can do more things than Farah. I still enjoy Farah's kit more. It's simple, but like the concussion blast to the justice range from above, like the ultimate and everything. I
would also think from a character design standpoint, it's cool, but just kind of simple. I know that's probably partly because of what she actually does as far as doing that. So I was arguably going to put her at the bottom or the mid part, like next to Soldier, one way or the other is where my mind was going.
Yeah, I think I have to put her over Soldier.
Okay.
So I would say either here or there.
Okay.
One of those two.
I'm fine either way. You can make the call.
I'm gonna do that for now.
All right. Tracer.
The mascot, the Mario, the Sonic.
At the Olympic Games.
At the Olympic Games.
She would cheat.
Very, again, simple but strong. I mean, not even that. It's just simple because she's been around forever. I mean, the zipping around and the recalling, I mean, it's still something very different than everyone else in the game. And it's a pretty crazy thing. It's just, and like, some of the people who are really good at Tracer, their brains just literally work twice as fast as mine.
Yeah.
like when you look at the first person perspective on a Tracer playing, sometimes I'm like, how did you even see the person? Because they're just zipping around so fast and like blinking all over the place. I'm like, what the fuck? I think she's a very strong character design.
Yeah.
I think she's very charming. She's gay.
True.
You know, so I mean, that's at least the one letter grade.
Lots of porn.
Uh-huh. A or B. And if she is B, I think she is the tippy top of B.
I think she at least got to be in
I think she's A.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you agree that not S? I think
yeah.
A. I think I'd put her over on
I agree with that.
I think I would also put her over Sig.
I don't know if I can put her over Torb.
Yeah.
I love my little man so much.
The design of Torb is also carrying a lot of weight here because out of kits, I probably like Torb's the least out of a lot of these up here, but but look at him.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Yeah. Ash.
Lots of personal bias here.
Because so Darby, we have to consider this as well. Bob.
Yeah. I fucking adore Ash.
I know.
She is.
I don't mess with DPS too much, but she's one of my favorite ones to play.
Yes.
Even I'm terrible, but yeah.
And I'm way better at Soldier. I still play Ash more just because I think her kit might individually be my favorite in the game, just from fun factor. Because like throwing the dynamite and hitting that in the air and like getting the whole team on fire is just so satisfying. Yeah. And like the fact that she kind of has a sniper type of thing, but she's also pretty good. Like she's not like Widow where she is like I'm not good enough to play Widow, but I feel like I can play Ash because like I can get some headshots, but if someone gets up on me, you also have tools to do that. And the rail gun or the shoot whatever the gun that she uses to like blast herself up and move everywhere. Mm-hmm. It's such a good mobility tool or knocking someone away tool. Just all together, I feel like her kit just like comes together and just clicks for me for fun.
She's my favorite DPS kit for sure.
So me, I was just gonna say you're gonna have to be the one. Please speak up and like pull it down if you want. I want this to be a discussion. For me, she would be top of this entire list right now. For everyone on
the tippy top.
Tippy top.
I don't know if I put her on the tippy top,
exactly.
But
so I'm like definitely like let's
okay. Well, at the very least, you don't have to. I'm not going to argue you putting her in S.
Okay.
Because as weird as it is, she is kind of a more basic cowboy, but her design just clicks for me more than Cassidy's, and for a lot of them.
I agree.
It helps. Well, I mean, all these characters are hot, but that helps. It just works. And Bob, come on.
They're that old. It's just so good.
You know what? I will concede this because I think she is. If you're okay with putting just below Diva, I will do that.
I'm down with that. I am down with that. Yeah, just wanted to let you know that's where I was like, I thought about, I've been thinking about it honestly this whole time. It's like, I think she'd be the top, like for at least what we have here. Okay, I didn't realize what was next. I don't know. What are you thinking? Because obviously I'm gonna have my personal bias.
Her design, like, you know, her design as far as like how, well, design both ways, moveset and visually, they work together so well. Like, that's a big thing with a lot of these characters. Their designs fit with their playstyle so well. I think that's a big strength for Overwatch
For sure.
in general. But obviously her just kind of being the angel on the battlefield just works so well with what she actually does, focus on healing. And obviously in some ways that has hurt her viability in some ways because of that focus on it. But I just... I played her a lot more in the beginning. I think just part of it is because I play with you so much. Usually Napper, so I'm usually jumping to Zen or Lucio.
Yeah.
Which we'll have to get to him. That I don't think if you're worried about fighting me for hurting your S, I don't think you have to. We might have to get more in there depending where we do later on. Yeah, because S has the most in it right now.
I'm not gonna argue to put her like super high in S because she does have a very simple kit and it's a very not very. I think it gets overblown for being a low skill character. I think that's like
I agree.
Really
well, like you were saying about as far as like I can't remember who we were talking about. But like zipping around and everything, I do think that takes skill and everything, and it even just the deciding on who to heal because at least with like comparing her to Zen, Zen can just put an orb from very far away. With Mercy, you got to decide to get up close, at least to a decent range, and get yourself a little more.
And she is like incredibly fragile, but like they make up for that by giving her a lot of mobility. But if you get called out, you are done like immediately. And a lot of times, like the fight can die with you. So it's like, yeah, like you said, and you can heal someone and keep them alive, and that can still be the wrong choice because like the tank dies, and then it's like, okay, you kept this DPS alive, now they're just gonna die. You know, you chose the wrong one. So it's like, it's a lot less of like the twitchy aiming stuff, but she is like kind of a thinking, like you have to do a lot of strategy. Like, what am I doing? Like, I need to not waste any time.
This is where
like,
I'm
time
thinking
is valuable when you're playing.
And I'll let you decide if you're okay with this spot. Which one? I'm thinking above or below Wrecking Ball.
I'm good with that.
I'll let you decide which.
Obviously, a lot of personal preference because like she is my main with a bullet. Like I've played her so much more than anyone else. And like she's just the tippy top of my list. I think I would still put her over Wrecking Ball. I know I have a lot of bias.
That's fine.
But I do think at sometimes Wrecking Ball, like there are a lot of times where I feel like Wrecking Ball, even in the hands of good people, is just not contributing to the team. It's just kind of like boxed out, you know. It's like there gets to a point I think sometimes with Wrecking Ball, it's like where he just doesn't do a lot of damage, and you just are kind of checkmated. Yeah. Where I feel like you can skill your way out of a lot of Mercy bad matchups in some ways. I don't know, you know. It's and some personal preference comes in here. So.
Okay,
but thank you for your S, sir.
Sombra. Okay. She's an A is where I'm thinking. Because
I adore her kit. Like I think she is such a
honestly, my mindset is I'd put her at the top of A with what we got. Because while I don't play her as much, I like her general kit. I'm excited for what they're doing with her Overwatch 2. I know that's not a factor. But I would argue she has one of, if maybe not even the best design in this game.
I agree. I think she's amazing. And her voice actress is awesome. And I wish I lived in the universe where I was a good Sombra player because like I just think her quick kit is so cool. And the few times I have played her and had success, it was so much fun. Yeah. Like the being invisible and hacking.
I think in Overwatch 2, I'm going to try to pick up a DPS or two as doing the thing. Just partly, I know I still have supports, but the fact there's one less tank, I might just try to diversify a little bit. And I like what I have trouble remembering what all they did with Sombra, but I remember really liking what they did with her.
Yeah, I don't remember all the exact things, but I know it's a lot more like offense heavy, which is good because she got to be a little too passive, I think, in a lot of her
Okay. I might try to just speed things up just for things. I'm thinking Genji maybe in B.
Yeah, that sounds right to me. I mean, he is cool. His design is cool but generic, and he is way too dependent on Dragon Blade, which is a very amazing ult. It is a very cool ult, and everything. But for most of the fight, he is one of the more basic Overwatch characters for most of the fight. The deflection is cool. Like, he definitely has really cool things, but I agree with that. I would say B or C. I would say B though. I mean, I think. Really
as far as where, I mean, I'm
good with bottom.
Yeah, I'm fine with where he is. I would say Symmetra C.
I agree. She's not my favorite.
Yeah. I would say bottom of C.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to put her D unless things shift a whole lot or whatever. Because I definitely have her. I think she's like a step above these. But the turrets and everything, it can be kind of an annoying passive playstyle in some point. She's weird. She's a weird character, but and I think she has been chopped and screwed over and over and over again. And I think that's partially because they just they don't know what they wanted to do with the character in some ways. Yeah, that's kind of indicative,
Yeah, Hanzo, top of B.
Yeah, he is good Hanzo kills and everything are exciting.
Yeah,
they're super duper exciting when people can really know what to do with him. He's another very high skill character. Yeah, I think he is very fun, but I wouldn't necessarily put him. I think this group is another level. So so you go with top though. Top of B.
I'm fine with it.
I could be argued to go lower. I think I just want him to be in this
top tier for sure. Obviously, I'm biased towards Zenyatta.
Well, this is our list.
Yeah. Widowmaker. I feel like A.
Yes, design is very strong.
Yeah.
She's very simple, but she is
again, it's one of those characters where her role is simple in what she is, but it's so good, and especially when in the right hands, like we were saying with Hanzo is hype. And I feel like with the design, it would be what the difference maker of putting her above the B characters.
Yes, I agree. And when you're good, you can control a game.
Yeah.
I think I'm okay with bottom though. Yeah.
Bastion.
Again, he's amazing, but there's too many amazing characters in this game.
Yeah.
I think Bastion is somewhat low on my list.
See,
he's adorable. He's great. I love him. But
top of C?
Yeah, that feels right to me.
Okay.
We are speeding up with this.
I feel like just the way our conversation go, just the character order is just kind of right for what we're doing. It's kind of like how much we're talking on things. It's the Moira.
Even though I play her and I wish I didn't. There is just I literally only play her because there are times where Mercy is it's just not I'll be going as Mercy and I'll know that I can make this work, but the smarter choice is to play Moira, so I'm God damn it, Moira. I would put her almost dead last. I think her kit is boring as fuck. I think her play style is just she's one of the only characters in this game I think is a bad design that I want changed a lot, personally. It's a lot of just yeeting things into a fight.
Yeah.
The mobility is cool, and I hope they keep that. But I just wish that she had a different type of support ability. She's basically just Mercy without the fun things for me.
I got you. So were you thinking C or D?
D.
Okay.
And she's a character I play, but I would say D.
Also, I think she's probably, as far as the actual character design, close to the bottom, not the bottom. Yeah. In my opinion.
She's a little I don't want to trample all over. I mean, do you? I
find her kit probably more fun than you do. I get why people feel the way they do. But I obviously haven't delved into competitive or play as much as her. I find her fun, but comparing to other characters, I get it.
And it's one of those things that got worse the more I played her. When I first started playing her, I'm like, oh, she's really fun. Why wasn't I playing her before? And then the more I played her, the more I was like, I'm really sick of this.
I mean, I played as much as I have just because I play support a lot, but she's honestly, I don't know why. Thinking about it, I probably haven't played Mercy in years at this point. I don't know why. It's because I play with you when you do it, and I love playing as Zen and Lucio. So
yeah, fair. I mean, but kick me off of it anytime.
Where do you want her in D? I'm fine any place. honestly.
I have too much of a vendetta, but I don't know. You choose, because I would probably say bottom.
Yeah, that's fine. Roadhog.
He's annoying.
But he's so lovable.
The design is incredible. The design is top notch for sure.
He's annoying. I do like playing him a lot.
Yeah, I feel like you should drive this more, because
I would be fine with bottom A.
yeah, I definitely don't want to put him like way up there.
Yeah.
With the rest of them, because I definitely think he is a good step below as far as complexity, and not that complexity is everything, because we have very simple characters up there, but like, I don't know. I think Roadhog, obviously, like, definitely watching in pro, like, Roadhog is definitely one of those characters. Whenever Roadhog is like the tank being played, it's like, oh god,
Yeah.
because he is just kind of one note. He is very one note, and he's very dependent on everyone else as far as his tank thing, and he's like. He's a weird thing. He's a tank just because he has a lot of health.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have tank abilities. He's lost. He is kind of a lost character that doesn't know what role he should be.
Him and Doom just switch places.
Which they might be.
Yeah.
So, I guess they hadn't said that with Roadhog, but like,
Yeah. Are we seeing Roadhog for Overwatch too?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Which he should be changed. I think he should be changed in some way, because his abilities are more DPS, but his health is tank. He's kind of a
Just because he's a
tank.
big boy.
Like, ever since Roll Q, I feel like Roadhog has been almost like, anytime me and Alex go to play Overwatch and we see a Roadhog, we're like, well, there's about an 80% chance we lose this game. I mean, that's just how it goes, unfortunately, with them.
Okay. I can think of all that. We can knock him down some.
But yeah,
I mean, you bring up good points.
I don't want to dominate it, but
No.
I would probably say B, though. I still think he is a fun character, and like, it feels hype.
Yeah.
You know, getting some kills, but I would probably be like somewhere over here in B is where I would
Okay.
go.
Hey, if you want to put him below Zen at least, as high we can get Zen, the better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, Lucia.
Very strong. It's very weird for him to be the last one, because it's very hard to slot people in.
I'm not sure what the order of this fucking list is. I think probably just random, but whatever. Are we putting him in S?
Yeah, I kind of feel like you should.
Do we need to knock down someone from S?
Yeah, we'll figure it out after
Yeah.
we put him in there. Oh, because I mean, we can speak on it. He is a very, very fun support. I mean, just because
He's one of my favorite characters to play in the game.
I think so. I agree. I mean, I think he's one of the
Probably
best
like at this point, he's become my second main below Zen.
well, the speed,
And there are times where I use him more.
the wall running mechanic just feels so good, and it's so like useful. And the speeding in and out, but also healing, but also he can damage a decent amount. But as far as like the skill set is very unique to him, and he just is fun to play.
Well, his character design is just top tier and just everything.
The whole music,
And we're talking about how the character design and again, a strength of Overwatch is how much the character design and the actual kit of the characters, how much they click and just feel natural to
and
the
this
characters.
is the epitome of that. This
Yeah.
is like the ultimate form of that, where he definitely does.
Yeah.
So I think he's probably pretty high. Yes.
Yeah.
When I just think of it in a vacuum and need to look at this.
I mean, if we wanted to put him in between Ashe and Reinhardt, I would not
Yeah.
disagree.
Even though I love Mercy, I think Lucio's kit is overall better.
Yeah.
There's my personal skills and what I'm good at, but I think his kit is more interesting. And I feel like most people wouldn't have Ashe here, and if you want him over Ashe, you can definitely. I mean, this is some personal thing. Ashe might be my single favorite kit in the game,
I'm fine with this.
but so.
Do we want to knock Doomfist down to make S and A even? So S is not the biggest one.
Yeah, we probably should. I mean, so do we assess are there any of these rankings that feel wrong?
Nah, I think we did pretty good of just
Yeah.
doing it as we went. I guess it'd just kind of be knocking down anyone move.
So do you see any strong? I mean, I guess what do you think about Sombra versus Doom? Do you feel like there's a tier break there?
I mean, if I'm being honest, if I'm going the only reason I'm talking about knocking Doomfist down is just because of S being so big. If I'm going on my gut feeling, I would move Sombra up.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a bigger break between Sombra and Pharah.
I agree with you. I think that's
I'd be fine with that because we talked about the Overwatch character design and everything is just so fucking strong.
It is very good.
So if we wanted to actually move Sombra up and just make S that fucking big.
When I look at, I mean, I hate to do it because like you said, it's kind of boring, but when I look at it, Sombra is all, I think kind of stands above the rest of these a decent amount. Like, yeah, for that feels more right, even though this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we just really like Overwatch character design. All right, do any of these other ones, does this all feel right to you?
I think for the most part we got it right. I feel good about this.
It is boring for S to be the most stat category, but I mean,
fuck it.
Good damn characters.
Hey, it's the Overwatch character designer's fault, not ours.
Oh Lord, well, that was a blast though.
Indeed.
Very, very fun.
On to the next.